The Land Use Act recently passed into law by the Lagos state government have thrown Lagosians into a frenzied feeling of agitation towards the government, and we would try to examine a couple of the infractious points in that act. And to help us do that is a legal practitioner, Mr. Tope Alabi. It's nice to have you, sir.
Thank you.
So let's start with this. The Land Use Act, I hear, is supposed to be revenue for the local government, and in my mind, I kind of associated it with the tenement rates of years past. So why is the state government creating a law that would allow it to collect the Land Use Act using the local government as collectors? It will seem.
Well, if you look at the law itself, the law was passed in 2001, which law the state government, Lagos state government now review this 2018. And ordinarily, the law, which is the bedrock of the land use charge law of Lagos state, the tenement rate, is the statutory function of the local government to collect tenement rate. But the Lagos state decided to make land use charge law to usurp, which is a rape, to take over the function of local government as regard levy rate collection in respect of property within their various local council area. Now, the constitution, this tenement rate we are talking about and all other levies at the local level are enshrined in the constitution. It's the constitutional right and duty of the local government to collect all this levy at the local level. If you look at the fourth schedule, that's item 1J of the fourth schedule to the constitution. In fact, all the functions of local government are highlighted there, but the one touches on property, such as collection of tenement rate and other levies in various local governments, are the functions, duty, rights of respective local governments. But in Lagos State, until 2001, when there was a rape on that constitutional provision, and which rape we refer to as an aberration, which is, we call it a kind of constitutional abomination, to make law which will run foul of the provision of the constitution. Now, they now made, like, if you look at the law, section 2, sub 3 of the law is the one that arrogates that power to the state. And they make it in such a way that they are trying to make sure that they can escape a kind of a liability. They say each collecting authority, who is the collecting authority? Which is the collecting authority? That is the respective local government may delegate that function to the state government. But the question is that have they actually delegated? That is one. Number two, even if they delegated, the question, the question that is germane is whether a constitutional duty can be delegated, which we usually refer to as delegatus non potest delegare. The constitutional duty as vested in the local government cannot be delegated, cannot be delegated by the local government to the state. That was why they used the word may. The question now is that since 2001, that the state government has been collecting the money, whether from 2001 or thereafter, that they have been collecting the money. Was there any express written delegation from respective local government to the state that, okay, we are lazy, we don't know how to collect this money, We don't know how to go about it. So state, you can collect it from us. I believe there is none. And since the local government, since the state government has been collecting, where has the money go? Well, these are the questions we need to ask.
But between 2001 and 2018, Rivers State and I think Kaduna have challenged their state government for wanting to implement the same thing Lagos State did. Why hasn't lawyers like you, legal practitioners like you, taken the state government to court?
The thing is that, you know, what you can do in Lagos State and get away with it, you can't even do in Ekiti State or somewhere, even in Ogun State there. Because number one, the Lagosians, they feel that how much is it? It's not how much is it, it's whether it is legal. It is whether it is legal. Just like there is a battle at the High Court between me and the Chief Judge of Lagos State. And if you look at that thing, it's not how much the money is small, is 250, seal which they are selling illegally. But yet, it's not that I can't afford it, but I challenge it. No, our people, they just be in Lagos. They always say that anything goes in Lagos State and whatever. So people just feel how much is it and they are paying. Some don't know their right. Some know their right, they don't know how to go about it. And those who know how to go about it, they don't care. They don't care. Now, you know, the tactics that government uses is this. They will introduce one thing. They will look at how the society will react. If they don't react, they will get along with it. And they will get away with it. Now, if not for the 400% increase, not even 40% increase, not even 100% increase, 400% increase in this now use charge levy, people will not have raised their voice this way. And they have been raising their voice. How many people have stepped into the court now? There is none yet. Meanwhile, there is a legislation. And the governor was saying about a day ago that he's ready for dialogue. Can you dialogue after legislation? It shows a bad governance. You dialogue. You know, if you look at the stage of passing, it's not a bill that passed into the law. Amendment. There's always the first reading, second reading about the committee. You know, public hearing. There's a stage for public hearing. They will invite members of the public. Is it convenient for you? All sorts of things. People will make their, you know, the stakeholders in Lagos ought to be invited. Let them hear their voice. You did this secretly, and you are now saying you are ready for dialogue. Does it change the legislation? The law is already there. It's passed. It has given its assent. It has become law.
You spoke about delegation earlier on.
Yes.
The Lagos State government had used a consulting firm called Alpha Beta to collect taxes. Did these taxes include the land use law since 2001? Because surprisingly, a private firm found its way into the bill, and the State House of Assembly has told us that it's a mistake.
Well, this is what we are saying. You know, when you talk of the House of Assembly, lawmaking body for that matter, it's not something it's not meant for every Dick and Harry. It should be meant for those who actually specialize in it. Find lawyers there. Those who, the lawyers, there might be political scientists also, and well, many people. But then, you know, we see somebody who hardly have primary certificates, because they just want to control and put those who yes men and that support your motion. Those who cannot even prepare bill. Those who don't understand bill, they put them there. Eventually, they will pass the law, and most of this law, and one of them who usually nullify most of this law, either at the state high court or federal high court. All those provisions. Now, the Alpha Beta found itself, which is not even related to land issue. Alpha Beta, for that matter. You file case in court, you pay through Alpha Beta. So how does it become a tenement rate? How does it become a land levy? They now say it's a mistake for a whole entire House of Assembly. You know their number. Now, if it was a mistake for them, the thing was sent to the governor for assent. And the governor has his own legal team, which was supposed to go through it before the governor will assent.
So prior to now, Alpha Beta had nothing to do with collection of these charges?
At all, it has nothing to do.
So who collected these charges for the state government for the last 15 to 17 years?
The Alpha Beta or the...
Who collected the land use, who has been collecting the land use charge on behalf of the state government?
It's the Ministry of Finance.
Oh, not even the local government?
No, it's the Ministry of Finance.
So local government have completely been kicked out?
Local government have completely been kicked out of the business.
Of their constitutional responsibility.
That is just it. And that is why when we are blaming the local government, they don't do this, they don't do that, supposed to look at what is operating within that state. Where they want to get the money. All the levies, the rates they're supposed to use, even the garage park, all those little levies they're supposed to, the states are collecting everything. They really sap the local government. Nothing except the stipends. Maybe when allocation comes, it's not even the entire allocation that is being given. Just give them, maybe chairman, take this 5 million. Then how many workers do you have there? Okay, go and pay your workers. That's all.
Won't it make it difficult for the implementation of local government autonomy when that constitutional review is finished?
You know, those that are making this kind of... No, there are so many things that will be reviewed also. Because where they said that local government autonomy, then it means that the legislative house, because the local government also has its own legislative house, they will have to make their own laws that will empower them to carry out their functions in full. But at the same time, how about the state legislation that has stripped the local government of all their functions, their beneficial functions? Then in that regard, the court will have to settle it for them. They will have to approach the court by originating summons. That's the court interpret and nullify. Because the law will remain if it is not nullified. That's it. And the state assembly will not even like to revoke it anyway, to repeal it. That's it.
So the weak local government institutions that the constitutional amendment is trying to strengthen would undergo lots of legal battles in the near future.
Definitely with the state government, because they are just puppets in the hand of the and meanwhile these are the states that are crying for devolution of power from the federal government. Meanwhile they themselves, they are taking the little power that is at the local government for their own benefit. And all the money they have been arrogating to themselves, where is the benefit? Look at all our hospitals. You don't see the effects there. Go around to look at the school, to look at schools. The health sector, which sector do you want to talk about that? You see the effects there. Where's the money?
Finally, the Lagos State Governor, Ambode, said it's just 0.076%. And the 400% everybody shouting is due to arrears. You know, he also said the law has not been reviewed in 15 years. That's between 2002 and 2017. So first, how are the rates calculated? You know, and are Nigerians just being panicky, or Lagosians just being panicky, saying that it's a 400% arrears?
You see, I won't say the governor, you know, in the world of illusion, when you are looking at it that something that have not been reviewed over 17 years, now you now review it, you now tie it to the property. That after all, the property now, the land since 17 years ago
has appreciated.
But he has forgotten that the value of property is tied to the infrastructural facilities available. Where you don't have good road, there is no security. There is no unnecessary basic amenities. Do you think the value of property will remain the same? Look at Apapa now. People even want to sell their property there. Nobody is ready to buy. The gridlock, the hold up. Nobody wants to buy. Is it Ikorodu you want to talk about where there are Bado people? You want to buy land there? So the value of land is also, your property is also tied to available infrastructure. Where there is no infrastructure, there can't be a value. You want to sell, nobody will be ready to buy.
But how is this tenement rate calculated? And is the state governor right when he says that Lagosians are just being panicky and saying it's 400%? Is it right that there's a calculation challenge? He says it's 0.076% of the value of the property.
Well, if you look at it generally, well, I'm not an accountant, but you know, people is something you can even do yourself. And using the yardstick as provided there. Now, there are a lot of clamoring and complaining here and there from every angle within Lagos. Definitely, some people have sat down and have made this calculation, and they discovered that it's too much.
But he said it's due to arrears.
Whether
on their part.
No. There is this review is to increase the rate, and which he has done. So how they arrive at their 400% increase, they know better. But the issue is that looking at the property in Lagos, some people build their houses as a sort of maybe by the time they retire from work, whatever they put tenants there, whatever they get, they will be using it to keep body and soul together. And funny enough, the issue of whether you can derive money from tenants is a mirage. Because if you get to Manju's record there, it's flooded with recovery cases. And most of them linger. Tenants don't even go out and they are not paying. So where they want to get the money? And even in the law now, they said that if you fail to pay, the Lagos State will take over the house. So is Lagos State going to put tenants in that house? Because definitely once they take over possession, it means that they have to chase out the occupiers. They chase out the owner of the house to the street. And not the tenant to the street, they will take over. So are they going to put tenants there to realize that money? Because those are the area they still have to address. Because all these things, it has its own legal implication, which ordinarily I have said is that the entire law is even contrary to the provision of the Constitution. Then if you look at the economic aspect of it, now, who will bear the body of this increase? Not the landlord, it's the tenant. And we know how hard it is now to even renew rent. And that is why I've said several cases now. And once they cannot pay rent, I don't know. Where will people live? On the road, on the street?
You've raised many gray areas with this piece of legislature and many grim possibilities. And we believe that in coming times, there will be more clear lights shed on them. Thank you very much, Mr. Tope Alabi. It's been nice talking with you.
Thank you, sir.